Guys, you're never gonna believe this. I've got some oceanfront property for sale right here in Arizona with your name on it.
Just outside Phoenix, Arizona, a small crew has been working on something for years. A project many people said was impossible. Every year, millions of people travel from landlocked states to find the one thing we all need and crave: water. But this businessman decided it was time for a change. It was time to bring water to one of the hottest deserts on Earth. Arizona is known for its extreme heat, giant dust storms, and dry climate, a drastic difference from the ocean coastlines around the world. Finding surf waves in Arizona is as unlikely as finding a cornfield in New York City. So for any Arizona locals wanting to catch a wave, it wasn't easy. Until now. This park, now known as Revel Surf Park, is rumored to have one of the most advanced surf waves available today. So how is this even possible? And why is it so special?
We are at a place that is very special to all of us. This is Cole, the Law Father. This has been my attorney for a long time, turned good friend, turned business partner. Well, he has been quietly very hard at work down here in the Arizona desert heat since about 2019 is kind of when this dream came to life. And 2021 broke ground on what you see behind me, which is Cannon Beach, also known as the world's best artificial surf wave. We do all sorts of business outside of just YouTube. We do investing, we do all sorts of different projects, and this is a project that I actually invested in early on with Cole because the man is a visionary. He had a dream to put a giant surf wave in the middle of Phoenix, which is a very ambitious goal, by the way. Very lofty goal. And he was like, you know what? I'm not gonna go buy somebody else's technology. I wanna make my own. So not only did he take on an extremely daunting project, but he decided to basically do it from scratch using nobody's technology other than what he had up in here in the old dome, which made you even crazier, if you ask me, because it's not an easy thing to figure out. So today we're gonna show you how the wave works. We're gonna show you what it's capable of, all of Cannon Beach, and why this is so much more than just a surf wave, why this is actually like a lifestyle center. The whole goal today is see if my investment paid off. Because the doors have been open for how long?
They've been open since December 20th.
And it's been
sold
cranking.
out every day.
Sold out every single day since December 20th, and right now they're only operating on winter hours, which is basically Wednesday through Sunday. Sometimes the ocean isn't pumping, whereas Cannon Beach, it's always pumping. So with that said, we just got one more thing to say. Surf's up, bro! He's been waiting his whole life for that.
Welcome to paradise, my friends. Surf's up, brah. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just gonna go for a stroll down the beach. Get ready to shred the gnar. Get pitted, bro. Get pitted. We're gonna get pitted, bro. Get pitted. Let's get pitted.
You guys want to see something crazy? Sponsor of today's video is a company called Aura, and I want to give you like a really crazy example of why it's important that you listen to me. There's some wild stuff going on that you may not know about. Do you know anybody with the email?
That's my mom.
How about why?
I think it's my sister.
I just took Diesel Dave's phone number, punched it into the old Google machine here. Hey, David M. Kiley, age 40 at
What?
Yeah, you want to get into your income and your family names? That information is just right here on Google. Aura will jump in and handle that for you, but they do so much more than that. It's an all-in-one digital privacy tool. It gives you real-time updates, what's going on the internet with all of your information, fraud alerts on your credit, VPN, antivirus, and a password manager. I've been using it for like over a year, and I get updates all the time if anything's going on, and they've actually successfully removed my data from all sorts of websites. I don't have time to monitor the internet 24/7, but Aura does. So guys, if you want privacy, peace of mind, and protection of your personal information, click the link in my description below. Go to aura.com/Heavydsparks, and they're gonna give you a 2-week trial for free. And in that 2-week period, they'll send you back this huge list showing you all the places where your data is being bought and sold and any personal breaches. Thank you to Aura for sponsoring this video, but more importantly, thank you for keeping me and my family's data and information and privacy actually protected and secure.
I'm actually signing up for it right now.
Before we get into the water, I want to show you the mechanics behind it, because I know a lot of you, if you're anything like me, you watch this and you're like, how does that work? And I had to know. We're gonna show you how the wave machine works because it's pretty fascinating. All right, so we're here with Lindsay. She's gonna explain to you how this actually works. It's very simple, but also very complicated.
It starts with our bays here. They all work independently of each other and work together and sort of sequence together to push a wave. But the idea is this bay moves back. This displacer box comes up, it sucks in water, it works off this hydraulic ram. There's 21 of them for each bay. As that bay comes back, box comes up, box drops, bay pushes that water, and the idea is you change a few different numbers with each bay to sequence them all together to push a wave.
Because a lot of people see this and they think you're just pushing water, but that's just kind of an assist right there.
Yep.
Essentially, the volume is coming from displacing it.
Yes.
So you pull that big cube out, all the water rushes back, and then that cube pushes back down in, which in turn displaces the water.
Yep.
And then this is just taking that extra displacement, just giving it one last push, right?
Absolutely. So it works off of hydraulic rams here.
You'll see these tanks back here. Those are hydraulic reservoirs. What's happening is, you're hearing the pumps right now, they're pumping. They're gonna fill those big reservoirs to about 3,000 PSI. Once it hits that point, then it's gonna dump all that pressure into the outstroke of this big ram. You're gonna see all of these cantilever arms are gonna go at different rates. So boom, boom, boom. See how it's all sequenced? So right now, they're starting with the outer bays first. They go back and they push, and then the middle ones follow. So what that's doing is creating kind of a wave that's coming in on itself, and it comes to a nice kind of a peak right in the middle, and then it allows it to break off both directions. So Cole is the first to admit that this isn't the gnarliest, best, cleanest surf wave, because it's meant to be for like intermediate beginners. Now, this is only half of the equation, because once you get into the shape of the pool, that also changes things. So you can see right here, Lindsay, you've got basically deep end right here,
Yeah.
right towards the bays, and then right in the middle, there's kind of an artificial reef that's built up, right?
Yeah. It's an artificial reef break, so we're at 8 to 10 feet along the backside, and then out where it comes to a point there, we're around 4 feet. We're
Yeah.
about chest deep out there. When this water pushes, it's just another kind of break for that wave. So if we were to push all these bays at once, it would still break on this reef and
Yeah.
peel left and right.
Oh, it would?
Yeah.
Because of the shape of the
Yep.
bottom. With the ocean, you're worried about the tides and the wind and the weather, and all that affects the waves big time. Whereas here, you get the same wave over and over and over again. They've got everything from little baby waves all the way up to monster waves.
It's never meant to replace the ocean. I think that's an important thing for people to remember and understand is it's meant for consistency, it's meant for training, it's meant to supplement the ocean. Nothing's going to take Mother Nature away.
Right.
This isn't going to replace that, but it is something great to bring to Arizona and these desert places to give families and people a reason to stay in shape, keep surfing,
Yeah.
and get better.
So right now, the water temperature is what?
We're at like 73 to 74 degrees right now.
Pretty great. What was
Yeah.
it during the winter?
Like 43 degrees. We were breaking ice, and people are getting in their wetsuits and still surfing.
What do you expect the water to get to in the summer?
I'm hoping it'll stay around 80, 85.
My set's rolling.
I don't think anybody fully understands just how big of a task it is. Creating a pool, difficult. Creating a lagoon, even more difficult. Creating a lagoon with crystal clear water like this in the middle of Arizona, where it's notoriously kind of dry, even more complicated. Doing all of that and then building that back wall from scratch with a bunch of surf units that can create any type of wave you want, mind-blowing.
You know, I'm kind of sitting here as like the guy that's kind of the judge of who's made it the furthest. I'll tell you, they all crashed at about the same spot. Nobody's really gotten up.
I can surf behind a boat. I can surf like the flow rider, unit waves. I've never surfed on the wide open ocean. I have tried one surf park before, but not like this.
What you're going to see is what's called an A-frame wave. So the reef breaks equally on both sides. So right surfer goes and the left surfer. Typically the regular footed, which you are. No, you're goofy footed. Yeah, you're going to be going left for the most part. And those who are regular footed are going to go right. And so what we want to do out there is really point towards the wall. The instinct is to point directly to the beach, but the much better success rate is pointing at the wall.
I think Dave may be giving up at this point in time. Diesel, however, has put in the most effort. He's crashed the hardest. He's tried tried to get on the most waves. His problem is he's not consistent with where he's at. He's tried over this corner, tried that corner, tried this corner. Granted, the guys here are teaching him what to do. He's just kind of like,
If I kick my feet too. Yeah, I'm gonna try this one.
I'd say we're not surfers by any means. No way, shape, or form should we be surfing.
That back wall right there is essentially giant steel boxes. Each of them is controlled by its own motor, and so they can move independently, kind of like piano keys. And depending on the way you move those, they'll lift up and they'll go back in the water, which will in turn displace a bunch of water at a certain interval, which will create a certain shape of wave. As it comes closer to the shore, it gives you another set of waves right here that the kids can sit here and play on. So not only can professional surfers and, you know, amateur surfers or whoever's trying to learn get just consistently solid wave after wave after wave, their families can sit here in the shallow end and boogie board right over to the shallow, to the beach. It's a miracle that we're standing here today.
Being a lifeguard's easy. It's kind of like riding a bike, except that your bike's on fire, you're on fire, everyone else is on fire, everything's on fire. You're the only one that can put it up. You gotta be on your game.
What is? That was a fall, not a dive. Now he's just throwing stuff.
Hey! Toss that back! Huh. Just a shadow.
Okay, so this is what's called the unit wave. Now, the unit wave is very interesting because a lot of people see these on cruise ships and they think it's the same thing. This is not a flow rider wave. Flow rider wave, you're surfing on like 2-3 inches of water that's basically being shot uphill by pumps. This right here takes an actual volume of water.
700,000 gallons of water, 700,000 gallons of water, and like you said, it creates a jump off this hydraulic jump.
How many pumps are pulling?
15.
15 pumps. Pull this water up through this system right here, and then they send it down this ramp, and this natural kind of reef right here just launches over like a little launch ramp, and then it goes into the pool over here. What's crazy about this wave is there's so much more water moving than any other surf waves that you see, like a standing wave like this. This is an incredible amount of water that's moving, which means it is a little more difficult to get out of when you wreck. The first thing we have to do is Cole's gonna make us all jump in from the top and get familiar with what it's like to get out of the what's the word I'm looking for?
Pain cave.
The pain cave.
Yeah.
It's so much different than any other standing wave I've ever ridden on because it freaking tosses you in the deep end, and that wave just wants to hammer you, but it's a good wave, a lot of volume.
Do it?
I don't know.
But yes, you
don't-
have your gold chain, you'll be fine.
That's true. That it'll choke me.
trying to save you.
Final feature we're gonna check out here at the park today is the diving pool.
6 foot, 12 foot, 17, 26.
26-foot platform. Honestly, guys, it's kind of hard to find anywhere like a big pool that you can publicly go to that has that kind of platform. Typically to find that sort of thing, you got to go to a lake or a river or something like that. Goes from 14 out to about 16 feet, so you do whatever dive you want. You're gonna be safe. It's got a kiddie pool, shallow end right here, so the kids can sit here and watch dad backflop. What's cool is this is also fed from the same water as the surf wave. So it's all one giant wave, which is nice because it keeps it all kind of one unit to maintain, right?
One filtration system,
Yeah.
that's right.
A lot of things in life you can count on. Death, taxes. Sparks only entering the water with a gainer off the highest peak possible. Listen, Dave, and I hope you watch this. It's not that impressive. It's easy. Everyone can do it. I'm not a water guy. I don't even like high dive. I don't even do gainers. I'm gonna show you it's not that scary. You're as tall as these trees.
I got you! I got you! What the? I got you! Don't worry about my hat! Don't worry about it!
Did it, man. I caught one. And then I stood up and I was ahead of the wave and the wave wiped me out.
You've been here this whole time?
But I've been here since 91.
Is that your island name, Yaku?
Yeah, how'd you know that?
There's a trough, and that actually is a very exciting thing for us out here because in the ocean, you kind of always feel that pull of the wave before you feel the push of the wave. That's called the trough. And we're very proud that we've created that out here, so it's a very natural feeling for a surfer. So it actually does pull you in towards the waveboard, but the waveboard actually moves so slow it can't hurt you.
So the way that the filtration systems work is based off of ozone systems, oxygen systems. So the majority of a filtration works off of oxygen. It's supplemented with UV light and CO2, and then it is slightly supplemented with chlorine and muriatic acid after that. But it is minuscule.
Yeah, because you don't smell
it's
chlorine.
Absolutely nothing. nothing.
It's not like a public pool where you would go and see, a bunch of nasty, but this pool feeds the diving pool and the kiddie pool and the shallow areas. It's all the same, batch of water.
2.86 million gallons of water.
2.86 million? What's the
It's
max?
a frequency. It's like
the max frequency interval that you can run these.
Quickest we're running is in between 50 to 60 seconds. We really haven't pushed much faster than that, but with 10 guys in the water, our goal is to get each guy 10 to 12 waves in their hour that they get when they book a session.
Yeah.
Right around that 60 seconds is kind of where we stay.
60 seconds.
Yeah.
Which is really good, by the way, because when you're out there surfing, you want the rest.
How many
Still
bays
open.
can you lose and still have a good wave?
Depends on which bays.
Yeah.
So our center bays are obviously the most important because that's the takeoff on the wave. If you run out of one of those, we're pulling off a side bay to make sure that one stays up and running because without the center you don't have a wave. So we can lose the sides, and so like bay 1 or bay 21, we can lose and still run.
Yeah.
Like right now we don't have bay 21 back up and running. We took a part off of it for something that broke on bay 9 and had to move it over, so we're still running. So it just depends on placement.
Well, there it is. There's the science behind it. That's how it all kind of works. Thank you, guys.
Of a lifeguard, you got to be on your game. There is no time to hate time.
Are you okay?
Bro,
Are you okay?
foot,
I got you. Hold your breath.
Yeah, no, I can stand.
I got you.
I can stand.
I got you.
I'm fine.
So you got to be ready at the drop of a hat.
So we are back here in the filter house. This is where all of the water gets treated, cleaned, filtered, and sent back to the pool. They turn 4 million gallons of water through here every 16 hours. So the whole pool gets filtered pretty much a couple times a day. Right here, you've got some giant filters. It pumps in through all these pipes and it pushes in through these big filters. And then it comes over here. Ozone basically injects oxygen into the water. And the reason why that's important is it allows them to run way less chlorine. Standard like city pool runs about 4 parts per million on chlorine, which is why you can smell it, feel it. It's hard on your face, skin, and hair. This has about 1/2 part per million, so much, much less chlorine. That's why you don't get the smell, you don't get the burning eyes, you don't get any of that stuff because nobody likes that.
So what happens when I pull this one? This is the Dr. Pepper. We have Diet Coke, Sprite, kids' urine, and then just chewed up cell phones. Those are what those are. Obviously, you're a pretty good
they're the
lifeguard.
best.
What's the key to being a good lifeguard?
Bro, I'd say situational awareness.
Right.
And you have to be able to multitask with the best of them. I mean, I got a lot to look out.
Yeah.
You got water over there.
Yeah.
You got slick surfaces over here. People could be running. You don't want them to slip and fall. You got a kiddie pool, so you got kids running around.
What are you worried about more, like deep water or like running?
Oh, probably deep water. I mean, there's where someone could be swimming and start drowning, and I don't want.
Right.
Pretty good at mouth to mouth, but
Is that on all that weight on your shoulders?
all on my shoulders, man. The whole world is on my shoulders.
Who do you report to? Makes sense. Well, let's go get some food.
Now that you've seen the surf park, you've seen all the features, all the attractions, we came out here today to see if my investment's gonna pay off. How much did we spend?
About $42.5 million on what you see just inside the fence here, just the aquatics.
Just the aquatics, not including, so one thing you guys may not understand, this whole development is everything you see around us. From that building to the strip mall, the restaurants, the parking, everything here is part of one master plan that Cole put together, which is a much bigger number than 42 million.
It's a $300 million number with 2 hotels and everything else. Yeah, that's right.
So it's still very much a work in progress, but the whole goal here was to get kind of the centerpiece, which is the surf park here, get people here, and then build, you know, around that some of these bigger projects.
But you can see here, if you're looking at the lagoon right now, we have a learn to surf session happening. So I'm looking at kids right now who have never surfed before, clearly. And the stoke on their face is real. And I told you from the very beginning, man, if you want to make some quick money, let's go build some storage units. But that's not what we're about, right? We want to give something back to the community, a legacy project, and this is truly a place where memories are built and that reservoir is lasting forever. And I think that's special.
And is it true that we're already operational profitable?
Yeah, very unusual, but we were operationally profitable like from day one when we opened. You know, the food and beverages have been a big hit, the cabana rentals, the birthday parties galore out here. Of course, the surf sessions were operationally profitable. I'm very happy and proud of that, yeah.
So the way this works, guys, the investment that we put in and, you know, some of the other investors put in is basically kind of like an equal profit distribution system. So as this place is profitable, people get, you know, paid out some of those dividends on the profit, and then obviously, you know, some of the loans and stuff have interest and thing on them. But basically, this was very grassroots put together. It's not like some big venture capital firm came in and paid for the whole thing. Like, it was very much Cole kind of scrapped it together. And I, for one, couldn't be happier with the way it turned out, because this was a very bold and daring and hugely like risky project in a lot of ways.
I look back on those early days and I say, man, you guys weren't such good friends. I don't know what you were thinking investing with me. But, you know, to my credit, I put my money right alongside yours, and, you know, we all banded together, we bleed together, we smile together, and I think we're smiling. We have some volleyball courts going in, pickleball courts, other water features for kids, and of course, Texas. That's our next destination.
That's right.
That's going to be a big one there.
Cannon Beach is moving. Is it going to be Cannon Beach over there too?
Yeah, it's going to be Cannon Beach. Cannon Beach, McKinney, Texas.
So coming soon to Texas, you guys are going to have a surf park just like this, but bigger. Pool's going to be bigger. Everything's bigger in Texas, and the surf park and the waves are going to be bigger. Hopefully you guys enjoy this. A little different video, obviously, but we try to show you the ins and outs of everything that we're involved with and anything that our friends are up to that's cool, especially when it's cool technology like this that was doodled on a napkin and then all of a sudden became real life. So the last thing to do is I get a Spartan kick you off of the high dive. Dave and Ryan are out there surfing right now. We're not gonna tell them, but we're gonna turn the wave on full blast. He has no idea the tsunami's about to come, so we're gonna see what's happening here.
Get it.
Got destroyed.
Get pitted, bro, get pitted. Get it.
Yeah, do it again.